Hello, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It's Lemurian Donna Carol, and I hope you're having a fabulous day, a fabulous night. I'm so happy that you're here. I do have a couple of announcements. Um, Number one, if you haven't checked out Soul Class, check it out. I have a video on it under live videos on YouTube, and it starts this December 3rd, and I'm super excited about it. We have 10 people registered so far, and I'm expecting more registrants. But listen, it doesn't matter. There could be 1,000 people in that class. The guides will be working with each of you individually, and you'll be getting everything that you need as well as protection when you get all of these downloads. So check it out. Number two, I am going to be a guest on Carrie Murphy's podcast, Straight Talk for the Soul. If you're not registered for this, just Google Straight Talk for the Soul and you'll go to her website, and from there you can register for the podcast and get notifications, weekly notifications about all the different guests. And she has wonderful guests on her show. I listen to that show sometimes and I'm just blown away by what different people are doing and how they're doing it. So I'm going to be on Tuesday at 11 o'clock Pacific time, which is noon Mountain time, 1 o'clock Central time, and 2 p.m. Eastern time. And it's going to be pretty interesting because I'll be channeling the Lemurian Mother Goddess, but I'm doing something different this time. Basically, I'm going to be doing a heart thread session. I am a certified heart thread practitioner, but I'm going to be channeling the Mother Goddess, and she's going to be doing the heart thread session with anyone and everyone who listens to that show. So if you want to participate, you will connect heart to heart with the Lemurian Mother Goddess, and she's going to remove or take out perceptions, ideologies, impressions that you have from the old earth. It's kind of like, let's remove the old earth, and then she's going to bring in new energies, new activations for the new earth. So it's kind of like yanking out the old earth, putting the new earth in. So it's going to be kind of interesting. It'll run about 15 minutes, the Heart Thread session. And Heart Thread was developed by a well-known American channel. Her name is Flo Magdalena, Flo Avia Magdalena. And she's written a couple of books, but she's been channeling since the 80s, and she brought in Heart Thread from her angelic guides, and it's a very powerful modality because the practitioner connects with the client heart to heart. When you connect heart to heart, you actually tap into and connect into the universal heart field. So in other words, everybody's heart is in your connection. Even if you're connecting with one other person heart to heart, you're in the unified heart field. So you can bring about much change because of the way you're connecting in this modality. And basically the client reads energies coming off of someone's back. So etherically, I would read energies coming off of your back, and then I state what I get. Like I could state, I'm so sad, or I've been so tired, or whatever it is. I get a read and then I state it, and then the client would repeat it if it feels right to you. And basically when you repeat it, it's released from your body, not just your physical body, all of your subtle bodies. And sometimes it's not released. Sometimes I'll say something, or the practitioner will say something that needs to be brought in, or it needs to be integrated. So I could say, I'm abundant, or I'm very happy to be living on planet Earth, or, it varies because every time you do a session, it's very different for each individual. And clients will come to me and say, hey, I want to get over my ex-boyfriend that broke up with me. I'm depressed. I'm in grief. I'm grieving this relationship and I want to let it go. And to do a heart thread session like that will hasten the healing process. I mean, it takes out all of the impressions, so you'll be able to heal that much faster. So you'll get a chance to experience heart thread because I'm going to do it on this show with the Lemurian Mother Goddess for the collective. And I'm really excited about it, and I think it's going to be a good experience. So if you have the time, tune in this Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And also know that Carrie, you can watch replays for any of Carrie's guests on her show. If you're registered for her show during the current season, so you won't be able to watch this next year because she'll be in a new season, but for the next 2 or 3 months, you'll be able to replay this. So if you can't catch it Tuesday, you can catch it later. So Angelique, thank you. Thank you. You're sweet saying that my soul class sounds like a heavenly dream. It is all my best stuff. I got to admit, it is all my highest and best so far is packed into this class for $122. And I'm like, that's not very much money, but the guides actually want me to make it very accessible for people. And that hence the price. They want it to be consumed. They don't want it to sit on a shelf somewhere. So yeah, check out Soul Class. Check out my appearance on Carrie Murphy's show. I love Carrie. She's a darling. She's got really high energy, really high frequency. So that's 2 announcements, and then I want to tell you a couple other things before I bring in Archangel Sandalphon. So last week I talked about the meta-body rejuvenation system, and I had a really good experience with that, and it was basically experiencing the violet ray for healing through these crystals that this gentleman has invented, this incredible machine based on Tesla technology. And I was so excited about it, and I wanted to buy one. But then I thought, well, if I buy one, I've got to do like 40 sessions on people just to pay for the machine, and because it's not cheap. And I was like, oh, do I really want to buy one? And it's like, yes, I do, but I have to be careful with my money right now. I just spent $2,300 to have a root canal redone, and I would have had the tooth pulled for that amount of money, honestly, but it was underneath a bridge, so I had to save the bridge. So I mean, it's just like, you guys know what it's like, medical bills, dental bills. So I just forked out a lot of money for this tooth, which I think the surgery is working, and it was like 50-50. It wasn't a guarantee that it was going to be healed, but I think it's actually healing, so I'm very grateful. You can believe that I brought in all the guides. It was sorry, my nose is starting to itch. So it was a redo. So I just spent all this money on my tooth. If I hadn't have done the dentistry, I probably would have bought the machine. And I have to move this summer, and it's for financial reasons, because my rent has gone up here $400 in 2 years. I pay $400 more than I paid in 2020, and it's just getting too expensive for me. So I have to move to a place where I can afford to live, which I'm going to do this summer. But I will which is why I'm not going to Oregon, because Oregon's even more expensive than where I live now. So I'm looking around. I've been researching. I've been traveling, looking at places, and I think I'm pretty much narrowed it down to 1 or 2 rural. I want to go to a rural place. I'm tired of living in a big city. So I have to save up a lot of money to move. You guys know to hire a mover to move you is not cheap either. So I have to be careful, or else I would buy this machine. But if I get a windfall, I'm definitely going to buy it and offer sessions, because I think it's that good. Yeah, so we'll see what happens about that, you know. So, but I definitely think that it's a great machine, and if you have extra money lying around, it would be well worth purchasing. Okay, the other thing that I want to tell you is, okay, so today's Sunday, right? Last night was Saturday night. Friday night, okay, Friday night, this happened to me. I go to bed pretty late and I get up late, and it's not a great habit to be in, but that's the habit I'm in right now. And I was asleep, and it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, the witching hour, right? And all of a sudden, this very famous comedian slash actor appeared in my face, full head, right here, and his mate or partner was right here. Okay, this is probably the most famous comedian. I don't want to say any names because I don't know the legal repercussions of talking about people that you don't personally know, right? But this famous comedian, initials JC, very famous, very been in a lot of movies and films, whatever. He just popped right into my face. And I looked at him and I was like, And his mate was there, and she was talking about sacrificing people because they sacrifice children and they drink the blood, and trust me, they do all kinds of crazy, disgusting things. His mate, who I did not recognize, was talking about sacrificing people, and he just appeared in my face and was trying to stare me down, and I was like, why is he in my face? And then all of a sudden his eyes, they went up into the back of the eye sockets, and all I could see was the white of the eyes. So at first it was these brown eyes trying to stare me down, and then all I saw was the white of the eyes, and I was like, I didn't understand what was going on. So I called on Archangel Michael. I said, Archangel Michael, please get him out of here. Gone immediately. And so I think what happened is that individual was probably, his soul was being pulled out of his body, because all of these Satanists, celebrities, and other people on the planet, they're getting like released off, if you will. They're getting taken to other realities. They're not able to withstand the frequency here, and they're nicely being escorted off the planet. So I think maybe he left his body and went off the planet. And as a matter of fact, from what I've heard, a lot of these famous politicians and Hollywood celebrities and whoever, they're not even the real people anymore. They're robots or clones or whatever. But I think his soul got pulled out of the body. That's why the eyes went back into the head and he was gone. So this is actually what I do at nighttime. I am involved in this work, which is releasing the satanic demons inhabiting celebrity bodies, etc. So I'm involved in escorting them off the planet, or getting them into the light, or getting them into rehab. And so I've mentioned this before, but all you have to know is if someone's a billionaire, if they're a multi-millionaire, if they're world famous, if they're, a famous author, politician, celebrity, movie star, singer, they're satanic. You don't get to those positions unless you're in that club. People don't understand how it works. It's like a country club, and you're not in it, but you don't want to be in it. But to get to that amount of success and fame, you have to be in the club, and you have to work your way up, and you have to perform human sacrifice. You have to work for Satan, basically, and he decides who's going to be what and where they're going to go. And this is the old way and the old patterns and the old world, and it's shifting now. It's changing now, but just know that do not engage in celebrity worship, idol worship. Even a lot of these self-help gurus. Okay, I'm not going to name any names, but the real famous ones, they're Satanists. They're not for real. There's a lot of false light out there, so much so that I'm blown away by it. I can't believe it, working with my friend who is actually the one who releases these individuals and takes them where they need to go, spirit releasement practitioner, and I'm hoping to have her on in a couple weeks to channel. She does the heavy work, right? But I'm kind of watching, and I channel and I deal with them as well. And my advice to you is, if they're famous, if they're big time, look at them very, very closely, because 9 times out of 10 it's false light, and it's just the devil or Satan trying to manipulate, control, and bamboozle the light workers, and he's been extremely successful at that, you know. And even on these shows that I'm on, like, I'll look at these shows and I'm looking at the other guests and I'm like, oh my God, because they're not of the light. They're very dark, and they're fakes, and they're imposters, and they're there to bring the frequency down and to destroy the work and the frequency of the real light workers. So it's a tricky game, and just be very, very careful, very, very careful. I mean, I'm lucky because I see these people at night, or I get a hit, like, I know, but some people, they don't know because they're not getting the information from source. So just ask your guides before you go follow someone famous, or someone that is very well known or very rich, because like I said, 9 times out of 10 they're a big fat fake. And like I said, this comedian, he was on his way out of here. Oh, JC, yeah. You thought JC was deeply spiritual, Angelique? Yeah, of course. Because what I've noticed is that many of these famous actors or famous celebrities are now, you know, spiritual gurus, or they're teaching about the new age, and they're teaching light. It's just a way for Satan to control all groups of people. You don't think that he's content with just controlling the banking system. He wants to control the light workers. So he puts out these celebrities who are also spiritual and, you know, practically saints, really. And it's a way to control us and to manipulate us and to take us off the real route. And I mean, if I told you right now the people that I know that are dark that everyone thinks are light, I think your mind would be blown, because, you know, it's just know that everything is not what it seems. But you can trust that I'm light. But then again, I'm not a celebrity. I'm not rich. I'm not wealthy, and I don't have a big following. So of course I'm light, you know. Anyhow, no, JC is not woke, man. I mean, this was 2 nights ago, and this dude was right in my face, and he was demonic as could be, and they were talking about sacrificing people. So, yeah, no. And like I said, if you want to be an actor or a politician, or even a famous author, or even a famous artist, and you want that renown, and you want that money, and you want that fame, you got to talk to Lucifer, because he controls this dimension and has been controlling it in the past. You're not going to get anywhere unless you make that contract with him. And those contracts are signed in blood, from what I understand. So anyhow, yeah, just be careful. Be so careful. Of course, I didn't know this when I was young, you know. I had to wake up and start channeling and start meditating to see all this crap. So, all right. So, anyhow, I'm going to bring in Archangel Sandalphon, who has helped me out numerous times, I must say. And he's a fantastic angel. And from what I understand, he's incarnated on the earth before. So we'll see what he has to say. Hopefully he'll bring in a message that's pertinent for you. I'm going to get my selenite. This is my new crystal, scoliolite, which I'm enjoying. And this is my selenite. So, okay. So if you will, everybody, just take in a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And 2 more times, deep breath in and deep breath out. And 1 more time, deep breath in and deep breath out. Okay, so at this time, I would like to bring in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I would like to bring in the archangels of the four directions: Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Gabriel. I'm asking for thousands and thousands of warrior protection angels around everybody watching this live stream or the video later. Please block all negative entities, energies, and thought forms. If anything's released by anyone, I ask the angels to take it up to source and transmute it into light. I ask for your highest and best guides to be here with you today. And lastly, we ask Archangel Sandalphon to please come in and bring a message in for the audience today, something that will help them and heal them and bring them hope for the future. Amen. Oh, and lastly, I ask the Mother Goddess to overlight and oversee this session. Greetings, this is Archangel Sandalphon. I am very, very happy to be with you here today. And it is true that I have worked with you, some of you before. And of course, like all of the angels, I am always available to assist you in any way that I can. If I cannot help you, I will find the angel or the light being that can assist you in the best way possible. That being said, oftentimes I help people make connections. If you have a job interview, for instance, and you want to make a good impression and you want the interviewer to understand you and to get you, then you can always call me in and I will speak with you. I will add my voice to yours and communicate with you to the job interviewer so that you are well understood. If you need help getting from point A to point B, if you need help in making a connection or discerning whether a connection is appropriate for you, because let's face it, sometimes the things that we want most, that we desire the most and we do not receive, sometimes it's really the best thing that could happen to us. However, if you need to connect with someone on the telephone or through an email, call me in. I will come in right through your fingers as you're typing that email. I will put my energy with your energy and help you get noticed and help that person receive your communication properly. If you need advice on where to move, where to work, if you should go on vacation to Belize or Hawaii, which would be a better trip for you, I hope you all have that problem, then call me in and I will help you decide. I can see into the future on the timeline that you're currently traversing, and I will help you make the best decision, not only for your own joy and happiness, but more importantly, for your spiritual evolution. So like I said, anytime you need to make a connection, get your point across, anytime you need to decide, should I take this job or that job, call me in. I will make it crystal clear for you, or as crystal clear as I can for you. So yes, it is true that I had a couple lifetimes on Earth, and so I do understand, and the channel was asking me if I had more than 2 lifetimes. Yes, I did. But my point is that I do understand what it means to be human. As a matter of fact, most of the archangels have incarnated at one time or another, and they are here now in force to help with the ascension. But I incarnated thousands and thousands of years ago, so in a very rough and difficult environment. So I understand what it means to be human. I understand the pitfalls of being human, what it means to make a decision with the heart versus making a decision with the mind or the ego. And of course, it is a balancing act for every human to use their mind and heart together to make the best decisions possible for them. But overall, the heart should rule and the mind should be used as an adjunct or a constant companion for the heart so that you can make the best and most loving decisions for yourself and for everybody else that you come into contact with. So the thing about being human is once you're in the situation, whatever it is, should I move? Should I date this person? Should I write a book? Should I do this? Should I do that? Sometimes the answers are not obvious, and sometimes you can make a decision based purely on emotion or desire, or you can make a decision based purely on logic without the emotional component. And in the long run or overall, it will not be the best decision for you. And people realize that in hindsight. Hindsight is 20/20 vision. But we all make mistakes. Humans make mistakes, and hopefully you learn from your mistakes. Hopefully you don't go into a state of despair or grief or anger regarding your actions. You hopefully go into a state of analyzing your past actions and learning from them and not repeating the same mistake, because trust me, if you have not learned your lesson, it will be brought back to you with a different form, a different person, a different environment, but essentially to teach you the same lesson. So as light workers on this planet, sometimes it can get very lonely. You can feel estranged from other people who don't understand where you're coming from. They don't understand your perspective or your goal to evolve yourself spiritually. Ultimately, your goal should be liberation of the soul and then enlightenment of the soul and then moving on from there. If you're a master, a spiritual master, oftentimes they will come back to earth. The angels oftentimes are spiritual gurus or masters. They're really angels, but sometimes they come in as masters during a lifetime. But life is infinite, and the possibilities for your soul's growth is limitless. So even after you reach mastership, which some of you may have done in past lives, and you're just going through the process again, there are other places where you can go to work and to serve and to bring light. In fact, there are many masters right now currently teaching on the planet of Jupiter, and there are beings from other planets, even Earth, that go to Jupiter to sit in these spiritual classrooms with the masters in the dream state or between lifetimes. And so there are many opportunities for you even once you become enlightened, because you can get more enlightened and more enlightened in subsequent incarnations. So it's a never-ending journey, and it is one that hopefully you are excited about. So as I was saying, sometimes it's very lonely for light workers. The channel was lamenting that nobody pays attention to her work, and nobody, is interested in her offerings, and that is not true. Some people do pay attention to her work and are interested in her offerings, but her ego got in the way. She needs to understand that she is on a journey as well as you. You are on a journey, and ultimately you need to open your heart, open yourself up, and ask how you can be an instrument of light and an instrument of peace. Please read St. Francis of Assisi's prayer, because it is beautiful. It will teach you the right way to approach your work. Lord, let me be an instrument of thy peace. That's really what's important. It's not important whether one person takes your class or 100 people take your class. What's important is, have you done your best? Have you done as much as you can to be a source of light, hope, peace, and um, fulfillment for people? And that means when you go to the grocery store, check yourself. If you're in a bad mood, or if somebody, did something to you that you don't like, you need to check yourself, because you are here to be a role model. You are here to be an example, and you are here to take the high road. So please don't get into these feelings of inferiority or feelings of not being fulfilled, because if you're a light worker on this planet, you are helping many just by sleeping at night and not even talking to anyone, because of the frequency that you emit. You are catalysts for people. You are here to bring change to the planet, change to the animal world, even change to the plant world. When you go out and emit your frequency, you are working subconsciously by catalyzing people, by turning the key so that they can open up to greater portions of spirit within themselves. So don't judge your own life and your own successes by the human standards, because in the spiritual world, we have a different measuring stick, a different yardstick to judge. And honestly, it is true that after you pass from this world, you will see your life in review, and you will be given a chance to judge how well you did something or how you could have done something better. So instead of judging it after you pass over, think, reflect, and pull yourself out of the doldrums, and try to do unto others as they would do unto others as they would have done to you. If everybody did that in this world, we would live in a paradise. So you being the light workers, you being the role models, hold your head up high, stay in your integrity, and do the best you can with what you've been given. And yes, you are given challenges to overcome, because that is what builds character and strength in a human life. If you all were born wealthy and healthy and happy and you had no challenges, you would have no growth. So please understand that your challenges are put on your path as ways for you to grow, and as ways for you to reach a higher level of understanding and a higher level of spiritual eminence, if you will. So I would like to say that I am looking forward to working with you all. If you have not worked with me, I would love to work with you. Just bring me into your hearts, call me into your heads. If you need a sign, ask for a sign. I will give you one. Know that there are many angels in the higher realms. It is true they're very busy right now, because they're working with many beings who are coming into the light realms for the first time in millions of years. And so they're scurrying here and scurrying there, and making sure that all souls are taken care of, all souls are going through a healing, and all souls feel comfortable. But that does not mean that they do not have time for you. We are beings that can bilocate, trilocate. We can be many places at one time. So give me a try. I will help you. Know that I love you, and know that we are very proud of you. And we love you whether you succeed, whether you fail. You are our family. You are one of us. And you are doing a very important job on the planet, and we appreciate you so much. This is Archangel Sandalphon sending you my highest blessings. For those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, have a beautiful Thanksgiving in the United States. Namaste and amen. Bye-bye. And now the channel will come back. Okie dokie. So I want to say thank you to Archangel Sandalphon. Thank you for helping me out all the times you help me out, because I do invoke him a lot. And I want to say thank you to you for listening. And I want to tell you guys that, I think I did go through a situation where, like Archangel Sandalphon said, I got into victim mentality and I went into the doldrums. But it's because I haven't been channeling that much. When I channel regularly, I stay really high frequency. And when I stop channeling, that's when I go down and become human. So I'm just noting that. So thank you for letting me have the opportunity to channel here every week. Anyhow, you guys have a great week. Take care of yourselves and be the light that you are. Know that you're loved and you are appreciated. Namaste.